Disclaimer: this podcast was not made to slander or speak ill of any author we will soon talk about. We will try our best to disassociate the author from their books.
This is a book discussion, and we are just speaking our opinions and not just speaking negatively about any book.
And this is a spoiler warning. Welcome back to Book Expectations. This is Chapter 1, The Hunger Games.
In case you forgot, the book takes place in the dystopian future of Panem, which is split into 12 different districts. The districts are forced to choose a random boy and girl, also known as tributes, to compete in the Hunger Games, which is basically the corrupt government's way of creating entertainment, by having children fight to the death. The story series follows the heroine Katniss Everdeen and shows her struggles throughout the games and challenges along the way.
So where to begin?
I think the story had a good plot in the first book, at least, with the whole free-for-all concept, and its popularity was well earned.
I think Suzanne Collins is definitely a good writer, and it stays consistent throughout all the books, which is really refreshing to see.
Yeah, it wasn't like those trilogy that the first book was pretty good, but then it goes downhill. And all the books were pretty entertaining. It had many twists and a lot of deaths, so it kept readers paying attention.
Kind of cruel, but I do agree, like, all the details are significant to the story, and they aren't just there for fun.
Like, it's good writing for the age it was written for.
And then the perspectives were consistent and changed, so it wasn't multiple perspectives, so it wasn't as confusing even though it was first person.
Yeah. I would say it's one of the better dystopian books, like, for the time it was written.
Yeah. It's also, like, it kind of also made other authors want to write dystopian.
Yeah, it created a whole wave of dystopian, and there were constant dystopian, but it was okay, because I really liked dystopian at that time.
Yeah.
And the rebellion made sense.
Every book led up to it, because it wasn't a rebellion in the first book, but slowly it became more and more rebellious. And Katniss didn't even know about the rebellion, so that was cool to see. So the reader found out with her.
Yeah, I would say that it has a lot of deeper things because of, like, the first person detail where Katniss doesn't want to be involved with this kind of stuff. Like, it talks about how harmful capitalism is.
Yeah, because everyone in the capital was really rich, and they were all, like, using their money for unnecessary things, while the people in districts were, like, literally starving to death.
Yeah, and then they were having children fight each other to the death.
Yeah.
For entertainment.
Yeah, for entertainment.
Yeah, but then each of the tributes did have some sort of PTSD and anxiety afterwards, so it shows, like, the toll it had to them mentally and as a person.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Haymitch, at first he was okay, but then he started getting, you know,
Worse.
he
became
into
an alcoholic.
Yeah, and a drunk.
Yeah, because he kept on training tributes, and then the tributes would die.
And in the Quarter Quell with the other tributes that won, there were two that were addicted to morphling because they just didn't know how to function.
Yeah. But it also shows with the games, it shows how the media is obsessed with romance, because if they, like, force because that was their strategy with Katniss and Peeta, to make them fake a relationship so that the capital would love them.
Yeah, and the media does that today. Like, it's not necessarily romance, but it's, like, small things
Yeah, the small, like, scandals and stuff.
Cover larger issues that they don't want to talk about.
So overall, the concept was good, and the writing was pretty decent.
I don't understand why dystopian authors always assume that teenagers are able to fight against the government or rebel against the government.
Yeah, in this case, I think part of it was understandable, like, Alma Coin and Haymitch and all those people.
I mean, also, like, Katniss was, like, she won the Hunger Games.
Yeah, all the people who are, like, the leaders already survived the Hunger Games, so they already had, like, I don't know,
experience of fighting, I guess.
Yeah, they were, like, strong people, and they did know, like, what they were dealing with because the capital was so corrupted.
Yeah, and they weren't exactly the leaders, because the leaders was Coin, but they were more of the, like, because they already had an image in media because they survived, and they were like loved by all of Panem.
Yeah.
But the games were just probably rigged because
It was rigged.
yeah.
Right?
I'm pretty sure it was.
In the song...
The
Ballad
of
of
the
Songbirds and
Snakes.
Snakes. I forgot the title.
Yeah, they said that it was rigged.
Yeah. I mean, it was a long time ago, so times probably did change. But at first, it was easy to do
Rig.
whatever you want and
Yeah.
get away with it.
But how would they even rig it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because would they just like specifically pick some type of slip with the certain person's name on it?
Maybe there's like a
guess.
color on the outside of the slip or something.
I mean, wouldn't that be kind of
know.
suspicious? Because don't they also record them picking the name?
Or they could just put all the people, like all of the slips with the same name over and over and over again.
Oh, that could be it.
I
Yeah.
don't think they really explain it that much. If they do,
I think it should have been explained more, saying that the games are rigged.
Yeah.
In the prequel.
Yeah.
But in general, the games were probably rigged because like District 1 and 2, like the careers, they've been training for their entire lives.
Yeah, because it was like seen as like a noble thing to
Yeah.
do.
That's why like none of the lower districts would win.
Yeah, that's
usually.
why Katniss and Peter were so shocking.
Yeah. But
That being said, the first book was anticlimactic.
Yeah, I don't know. I expected like one person to survive.
yeah, but like Cato was like dying for a really long time.
Yeah.
I mean, they did do the thing where President Snow told them only one person could survive, so I guess that was something.
I mean, no, but they did say in the middle of the games that like the same people in the same district, but that
Yeah,
was
but he
only
took
That
it
was just
back.
to make like more drama.
yeah, and
Yeah.
like romance in a way.
Yeah, so that Katniss and Peter would have to kill one another, or
No.
one of them would have to kill each other.
Yeah, but they didn't even kill each other. They just
They did
Yeah.
a dual suicide.
Oh, they were going to commit suicide. And they're like, no.
No.
Yeah, and they were like, actually, no, just kidding. You can win.
Yeah, I feel like they should have ended the book there, but instead they had to do an interview after the games.
Yeah, I thought maybe Peter should have died, but you know, Peter has plot armor.
yeah.
But
But-
also, oh, sorry, you
Yeah.
can go.
But at least the second book was interesting because it was the Quarter Quell.
We got to see the background of a lot of other characters, and I think that was nice because Katniss and Peter were getting a little boring.
Mm-hmm. Because Peeta doesn't really have personality, but he's nice.
Yeah, he has that for him.
Yeah, but the Quarter Quell, they literally celebrate more death. I don't really
Yeah.
understand because literally this 50th anniversary of the Hunger Games, so the second Quarter Quell, they doubled the amount of tributes. So instead of 24, they had 48 people dying.
That's
Yeah, in general, they just celebrated the Hunger Games. They celebrated children dying on public television.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would the people want that for their own children?
Yeah, and it's really sad because the third Quarter Quell, they had to do the victors, so the victors had to go through their PTSD all over again after maybe some of them have been starting to recover. And it's sad because
Yeah, they just end up dying again.
yeah, because
Or
Panem loved
not
them.
again.
Yeah.
They might have to go through maybe dying again.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them did die.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
How did Peeta survive?
He got carried. Well, he did die, technically. He did die.
Because he was stupid. He went, out of the force field. And then Finnick had to revive him. I love Finnick.
Finnick carried.
But Mags, she was so old, and
Yeah.
she didn't have to do that, but she volunteered for
but she was
Annie.
already in a liability.
Yeah.
So she was gonna die eventually. And they were, it was all or nothing. So because Finnick was already really tired, he can't just carry two people at once.
Yeah.
So, because Peeta was useless and he almost died, a couple pages before that.
Yeah, in general, the Quarter Quell was really messy, and the ending was really confusing, honestly.
Yeah, I didn't for a while I didn't know what happened at the end. I
Yeah,
was
because
really
she had the
confused.
wire, and then suddenly everyone was electrocuted,
Yeah.
and then she was waking up in a ship thing
And
in
they,
the air.
Yeah, and they forgot Peeta.
Yeah, and she was really angry.
Which is really confusing. How did they forget Peeta because he was one of the main people?
It was kind of a roller coaster of emotions at the end, which is fine because it does encourage you to read the next book, but it was a lot.
Well, it
to
was
take in.
kind of cool because Katniss didn't know that they were planning on doing a rebellion. So, like, the reader was confused with her because she didn't know. Because remember, she thought that Johanna was trying to kill her when she tried to remove the chip.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yeah, that was a good plot twist. I really liked that because I did like Johanna.
Yeah. And then they went to District 13, which is kind of confusing how District 13 was, like, fine in the end.
Yeah.
I mean, District 13 was just kind of weird because then they bombed them, so everything was dead. But then they moved everything underground. But, like, underground, how does that work?
Yeah, they had a lot of, like, explosives.
Yeah. And they, like, had a whole army there. How did they get Gale to... Wait, how did Gale get to District 13?
He just ran in the woods, I guess.
Oh, interesting.
That's a little boring.
Yeah. But the concept of the Hunger Games, I feel like it could have been a standalone because they could have just ended it there.
I mean,
after the
maybe a
first book.
sequel, I guess, but I felt like another 2 books was kind of just a money move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a rebellion. Every dystopian novel has to have a rebellion.
I mean, yeah, because the main characters find out that their society isn't as perfect as they're told it is.
Yeah.
I think that the first book had a lot of potential, but the second 2 books kind of just fell short.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the characters in the first book did have a lot of development, but there was so much development almost.
Yeah, like
in the
Katniss
first
was a
book.
good protagonist.
Yeah, I liked how, like, in the first book, she was, like, telling Gale not to shout so loud about how he hated everything about Panem and how everyone was hungry. But then Katniss slowly developed and she started, like, she became more confident, kind of,
Yeah.
and was able to talk about how harmful the society was.
And she carried PETA throughout Hunger Games.
Yeah.
You know,
PETA was named after bread.
exactly.
His parents were bakers, and they named him PETA.
I mean, what type of name is PETA? Why would they name their child PETA, even if
They
they're
could have named him,
bakers?
like, Peter. Like, Peter is
Peter.
close to PETA, but PETA...
I don't know. There's probably other bread-related names that are better than PETA.
Yeah. PETA was so useless. He literally, in the Hunger Games, he picked berries, but he couldn't even do that right because they were poisonous berries.
But he did bring her joy, and she was happy, and then they had kids, and that's like their happy ending.
But Katniss didn't want to, like, date either him or Gale because she was just afraid of commitment.
I don't think she wanted kids.
She probably didn't.
She probably didn't think she would live that long.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure in the beginning she said she thought that she, like, if she ever, like, got a family, she would do it with Gale.
Oh. Yeah.
But then she met PETA.
Wait, but wasn't, like, Gale and her were, like, planning on running away? Like, they kept on, like, mentioning it, but they wouldn't be able to take their siblings and families with them.
They had, like, a lot of, like, strong morals about family, and that was really good.
Yeah, but Gale was pretty toxic.
He's basically just... He was Katniss, but with zero flavor.
Yeah, like, he was white bread.
White bread is good,
but
though.
PETA is white bread.
But PETA's white bread.
White bread tastes good, though.
Gale's whole grain.
Whole
Wait, no, whole wheat.
whole wheat. Whole grain is good bread.
Whole grain is good. Katniss is whole grain.
Yeah. A lot of grain.
It's a whole thing.
Lots of seeds.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Gale just, like, he always kept on trying to have control, and he always wanted to protect Katniss, but Katniss didn't need no man.
Yeah,
Exactly.
she was so capable, and he was over here like, well, I could do it better, you know?
Yeah.
But could he?
Yeah, he
but
couldn't.
That's why her and PETA made sense, because PETA couldn't protect anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needed her.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I like, because this time it's not the guy being the person saving the girl.
Yeah, it shows a lot of, like, different aspects of masculinity that's not toxic.
Exactly.
I feel like that the Hunger Games was one of the first times that the girl was, like, the main person.
I mean, probably not.
There's others, but, like, mainstream, like, covered by a lot of media. and like widespread
like
love.
books after it, like
females
became more strong. Feminism.
Feminism, we love feminism. But Katniss in general, she was kind of one-dimensional. She didn't really have much going for her, but she wasn't the worst.
She had her sister to keep her.
Oh yeah, I love Prim.
Prim was amazing. She wanted to be a medic. She was like 14 or something.
She carried Katniss.
Yeah.
She like gave advice to Katniss, and then Katniss was like, "Wow, you can give advice."
Yeah, they didn't talk about guys the entire time.
Oh yeah, they didn't talk about guys like at all.
Exactly. See, that's what we need in
They
books.
talked about PETA, I think, once. But
Yeah,
it was because PETA was going crazy.
Yeah,
and he was psychotic.
They talked a lot, and
They also talked about Gale a couple times because they were concerned for him and worried.
yeah, but they weren't like fawning over.
Yeah, they
either
were talking
of them.
about like the rebellion, what was happening, like medical stuff.
Actual real life crisis.
I love the sister relationship and the sister dynamic. And it was interesting seeing that Prim still loved her mother and like forgave her mother for kind of shutting off after the father died. But Katniss never did, so it shows their differences.
Katniss just cared for Prim while her mother didn't, and I think that really did drive a lot of anger. But, you know.
But Katniss loved Prim. Like, she would do anything
Yeah,
for
she
Prim.
literally sacrificed herself when Prim was chosen for the Hunger Games.
And she got a goat for Prim.
Yeah. I mean, Goat also helped them with, like, their financial situation, but, like, mostly for
milk.
Prim.
They got milk.
There's just a win-win situation.
And then Finnick Odair, oh my god, I love Finnick. He's just such a good character. He was three-dimensional. He had a lot going for him.
Three-dimensional.
He was in the
He
movies.
was pretty cool.
Yeah, he was. No, because he was literally like, after he won, he was the youngest person to win the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
He was 14. And then he had a trident.
Yeah.
And
He was
from the fishing district.
yeah.
District 4, I think.
Yeah, and then he was I think it was 4. And then he was forced to become a prostitute, which was interesting to see how he was, like, because it shows different, because it's usually, like, the females who are kind of forced,
Yeah.
but
Because he was, like, desirable.
yeah, but then he got secrets from all the people, and he was able to use those secrets, so that's cool.
Yeah, he, like, used, like, the terrible things that happened to him for good.
Yeah, and it shows how he was able to use it. And it was also kind of sad because during the parade to, like, show off the tributes, the designer's goal was to show off as much as Finnick as possible, so he was basically naked.
Well, he was shirtless. I don't know about naked.
No, he had a net around him. He was only wearing a net, but it was, like, more woven on the crotch.
I see.
That's a little weird.
Yeah.
A net? Why? Oh,
Fishing.
fishing. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. And I just love how his relationship with Annie.
Oh my god.
He could have had any girl in the capital.
He chose a girl because he loved Annie before she went into the Hunger Games, but he didn't leave her when she became kind of
Crazy.
insane.
Yeah. And, like, she felt safe around him, and she, like, that was, like, her most calm time where she was able to communicate, like, somewhat properly. Oh, you're so cute.
I know. But also, some of the other characters, like President Coin, was confusing because I didn't know she was evil until she was killed.
Yeah, I didn't know why Katniss killed her. I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
I had to watch a YouTube video explaining how, and now I kind of have more of an idea, which is, I guess, it's pretty cool, but I feel like Suzanne Collins should have made it more clear.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
There's a lot of parts where she didn't make clear.
Yeah.
I love the deaths, too, that were just kind of sudden.
Yeah.
But they were, like, good characters.
Exactly. Like, she killed off a lot of good characters.
Why did she kill off Finnick? There's no point.
Yeah. I mean, I guess Finnick, like, saved them all because he held them all back.
Sacrificed himself. But he could have, like, got out in time, maybe.
Yeah,
no,
I mean,
'cause-
he could have been, like, he could have had some scarring or, like, a couple missing limbs or something.
Yeah.
He could have been like really hurt to like
no,
even move.
he could like be scarred from his like pretty face, so it could show that like he. Because remember, that's the reason why he became a prostitute too, because he was handsome.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it could show his growth.
Ugh, all the good characters were killed, honestly.
Yeah, and Rue also upset when she died.
Yeah.
But in the first book,
I didn't like the way that she just brushed over Rue. She was like,
Yeah.
she said all these good character traits, and then she's like, but then she dies, so she's
Exactly.
unimportant.
Yeah, it was, and then she died because for Katniss, which I guess moves the plot along. But I feel like Rue should have died for something better than to make Katniss go to PETA.
exactly.
Well, no, because it also kind of sparked the rebellion, because when they were on tour,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Katniss and PETA were like, we're giving some of our money to their families, and then they did the 3-finger kiss salute thing, and then they were like shot by guards.
I mean, it was cool that District 11, because a lot of people in District 11 were people of color and black people, and they were the people in charge of agriculture, so it kind of like
It does
hinted.
show like some racial injustice.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily racial, because it's like also the place, like the area that they lived had good agriculture. It's just maybe it wasn't in the books, but in the movies.
Yeah. I just feel like there just should have been more people of color, because there were no one was
I mean, there
Asian.
was Cinna. Cinna?
Oh,
Is
Cinna
that-
was in the Capitol.
Yeah, but he was a person of color, but there was no Asians.
I mean, there were people of color in the Capitol because they like
They dyed
painted their skin.
Yeah, they like tinted their skin green and things.
Green?
Yeah, green.
I'm
know,
pretty
that's
sure
considered-
Effie made her skin like really pale. I mean, maybe she was pale.
I don't know if green
she was,
is
like,
considered.
white. Like she was like pale, like bright white.
Yeah.
I don't think green's considered person of color.
You
But like they weren't necessarily discriminatory because of color.
Yeah.
But Cinna was a cool character.
Yeah. And he died.
Cinna helped
sad.
Katniss like with everything. Like he helped her like mentally prepare. He created like good like costumes.
He had amazing costume ideas.
Yeah,
They were like
oh my
on
God.
fire.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That was so cool. I
Yeah.
love that. I was like,
I know. He was like, they were gonna be on fire. I was like, whoa.
he's like, be careful, they're gonna be on fire, but it's not real fire.
It's just gonna look real.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's so cool.
I know.
I loved how they were concerned when they were being set on fire. They were like
Yeah.
looking at each other and they were like, "Are they insane?"
Yeah, but he was also really down to earth. Like sometimes like his costumes were like very out there, but like he himself was really down to earth.
Yeah,
I
but
appreciate that.
Yeah, but he was the one that started the rebellion, not Katniss, because he was the one that turned her wedding dress, which Snow wanted, into a mockingjay, which was the
Yeah.
symbol for the rebellion.
And like he helped her like pin her pin
Yeah.
To her,
the Mockingjay.
to-
right?
to her like suit that she went into the Hunger Games with.
Yeah.
yeah, she
Love
was
that.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was really sad. But coming back to Rue, I feel like we should have highlighted her strengths, because she was literally 12,
Yeah.
reminded Katniss of Prim, but Prim couldn't be in the Hunger Games.
yeah.
And then she had her slingshot, but she was quick. That was
Yeah,
her
and
strength.
she knew plants really well.
You know what? I feel like Rue could have lasted longer if it wasn't
Well,
for
I mean,
Katniss.
She did last pretty long.
Yeah, but remember because she was waiting for Katniss.
No, Katniss was waiting for her. She
No,
was like,
no. Katniss like blew them up, and then she ran back for Rue. But then Rue started calling for her, so she ran faster. But Rue was already dead by the time she was stabbed by the time she got there, because Rue was waiting for her.
No, I don't think she was waiting there. I think she got caught in a trap.
I don't know.
It's fine.
Yeah. Okay, so we're back, and we researched it. In the movies, Katniss ran to Rue, and Rue was waiting. But in the books, Katniss was waiting at their spot, but she kept on calling for Rue, and Rue wasn't responding, so she became more and more worried. And
she
then Rue
ran to
called
her.
for her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
She had a
mean,
lot of
Katniss-
potential.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but Katniss did kill Rue's killer. I'm
Yeah.
happy
So,
about that.
redemption.
Yeah.
I mean, not really,
Yeah.
but like, at least it wasn't for nothing.
And it was cool with Rue's relationship with Thresh, because Thresh was like this big, muscular man, And then Rue
He
was the
spared
small...
Katniss's life because
Yeah.
Katniss, like, buried Rue and,
Yeah.
like, took care of her while she was alive.
Yeah. And then he cared about Rue because he was like, what happened to the little girl? Tell me what happened to the little girl. And that just made my heart happy. And Hamish was also pretty cool. Like his quarter quill story, and Macely was the girl that he had an alliance with. And then he found out about the force field because they got angry and they split up. But then the girl was attacked by birds.
Love that.
Yeah, they're
Sounds like really painful.
yeah, that's like a mutation. But it was cool how Hamish found out about the force field.
Yeah, because he threw his weapon and then it bounced back.
Yeah. So,
Hamish was so smart. It's
yeah,
just,
he was so smart.
he went down that path.
He had a lot
and-
of problems.
Yeah, because their tributes, they didn't have training. They were all really poor and hungry.
Yeah, and they're just
They just
thrown
died
into the
really
game.
fast,
Yeah.
and so that hurts.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
Hamish just stopped trying.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's like, you guys look good, but I don't really want to help because I think you'll die.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you'd want to be attached to them and then they just
Yeah.
die.
But he did become really strategic when he did realize like they have a good chance, and like he got them food and medicine and all that.
Yeah, that was cool. So what did you think about the movies?
I remember the first time I watched the first movie, Hunger Game movie, was just on this DVD like player. It's like really old. It's like you could carry it on like a trip or something, but the quality is like really bad.
Yeah.
But I remember it just, I don't know, the vibe just like felt different.
The nostalgia.
When like Rue died, it felt different
It felt
watching it on the
different.
DVD player than on YouTube. It's just, it feels different.
Yeah.
It got a lot of the plot right. Like, most of the important parts. Like, it kind of brushed over some of the parts, but it was like mostly the
I
same.
mean, they got the plot right.
kind of.
I mean, they got like the idea. Like there
Yeah.
is districts, there is a capital, there is
Yeah.
rebellion.
They got the deaths right.
Yeah.
For
Finnick. Oh my god.
that
I
was sad.
I think the cast was really good
the
though.
cast was good.
Yeah, well,
It was kind of weird. Personally, I thought it was kind of weird seeing Jennifer Lawrence as Katniss.
and it was whitewashed.
Yeah, Katniss was supposed to have Oliver.
Olive's skin.
My bad.
I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes like producers can't really control that.
Yeah, and I think her acting was good.
Yeah.
It's just
She
wasn't
also-
how-
She was like pretty cool though. Like
Yeah, she was cool. She looked cool. She was just like
Yeah.
when she
bam.
pulled her arrows, she
Like,
was
It was like
Yeah.
fast and it was smooth.
I
It was like
know.
oh.
and her braid was like really nice. I mean, she's not. I don't really view her as a brunette in general.
Yeah.
But like the braid, the hairstyles like fit her pretty well.
yeah.
She's a good actress. But you know who was casted well, in my opinion? Finnick Odair.
Sam Claflin is very attractive.
He's very nice.
He has really cute dimples. I think
Yeah,
the
he's
dimples really like pulled the character
Yeah,
together
I know.
because his smile's like you know, it's like really
Because Finnick
charming.
Because Finnick doesn't smile except for when he has to, and when he does, it looks like kind of a fake smile. But when he like,
I mean, like
And
none
then
of
the
them really
dimples.
smiles.
yeah. But like when he's
Yeah.
like during his wedding, his dimples were there the entire time, and that
Aw.
like made me really happy.
Overall, like the costumes and
Yeah.
like the set
I really
design.
like the fiery costumes.
Yeah.
I liked
mean, it
all
looked
the costumes.
cool.
The sets were really good. Like it literally looked like when Finnick died, the sewer, it looked really cool.
And the CGI wasn't the worst.
yeah, like
the
the
CGI.
mutts.
I mean, it was disgusting,
Yeah.
but it
Yeah,
was like
but it was like
disgusting in a good way.
yeah,
Yeah.
the monsters had like really white teeth.
Yeah, yeah, because I like mentioned how like nice
that was
the
a little
teeth were.
weird. But,
Yeah, but like they did have faces. It was kind of scary.
yeah,
And
eyes. They had sort of a face.
You know what was kind of weird? Seeing Katniss like whisper under her breath, another one dead." Like, yeah,
Did she?
she like whispered under her, like, because you couldn't really hear it, but I assumed it was like her talking that another one of her friends was dead again, which is kind of sad because Finnick, like, at least say like, "Dang." Well, I feel like she should have been like more strong. Dang, because he's being ripped apart. But like, just more sad.
I think it was really cool when she did the nightlock thing, like the nightlock thing, and then she dropped it and like the explosion, and like you could see like the bodies
that's
being
what she was
dispersed.
whispering under the breath.
Oh, I thought you were talking about a different part.
Oh, not another one.
Oh, I thought you were talking about a different thing. I was like, oh.
Yeah, she went nightlock.
Well, you see like the bodies being dispersed in the explosion. It's not just like
what?
No, you could like they like.
Oh, the mutts, but like hopefully not Phoenix.
No, not Phoenix's body. Just like you can see like their bodies being like pushed away because of the explosion.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like fire, you know.
Yeah.
That's a cool detail.
Yeah.
But they just like the main thing with the movies that made me just like not really a fan of them was that the whole book, like the concepts, was about how harmful capitalism is, how the rich were stealing all the money, how they should have like given to the poor more and stuff like that. But then they made the movies for money.
Well, yeah.
And they wrote The Ballad of the Songbirds and Snakes for money.
Yeah.
So that was kind of awkward.
Yeah, I know. I think the movies are good to like, because some people just don't really pay attention when they read, and they just don't get those good details. And so I think the movies did bring to light some of those important things. They're like deeper and more significant, and you know, they're fun. There's a lot of action, so.
Yeah. But another thing is that they had most of the things, but I feel like they should have had Madge. I don't think Madge would have been hard to cast for, just a blonde girl.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have like, or maybe it was like fan cast. But like they had a picture of a girl.
Yeah.
Showing like she would have played Madge, and she was supposed to give Katniss the pin.
Yeah. Who was the
Who
person?
gave her the pin?
I think
Madge.
it was her mom.
No,
In the movies, she bought it.
She bought it?
Yeah, at like the, what's the place that they like?
Like a market or something?
Yeah, it was like, but it got burned down. But like I'm pretty sure she didn't buy it. I think the person gave it.
Oh,
to
I
her.
think it gave it.
Like she bought something from that person, and then they gave her the pin too, because she's like, wow, what's this? And they're like, it's a Mockingjay.
But Katniss and Madge were like kind of like friends. Like Madge respected Katniss.
Why would they leave her out? That's kind of
I don't know.
I think they didn't want to like cast a mayor and like have to include all that.
Yeah, they didn't want to
Because like
include all
Madge,
that.
because I'm pretty sure Katniss brought her strawberries.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like, compared to the other characters, that's a little insignificant.
Yeah.
A little bit.
And she gave her the pin, but they could easily like change
But like
that.
it could have showed like with the strawberries, it could have like kind of implied that she knew everybody really well.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I just really like Madge as a character because she was really rich, but she wasn't a brat. Like she knew she was spoiled. So
Yeah.
I don't really think it was. The movies were okay. They weren't the absolute worst.
I think from books to movies, it's one of the better transitions.
I
but
just don't think the
still-
movies did the books enough justice.
Yeah.
Okay. Overall, I think the book wasn't the worst, but
Yeah, we understand like the popularity.
we understand
I do
the
get
hype.
like
Yeah.
people like it. It's not something
I can see how someone can like.
I wouldn't hate on it. It's just not one of the best
Yeah.
books I've ever read.
I mean, it's not my personal favorite. I can see how someone else can like it.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to Book Expectations with Anya, Doris, and Isabel.
Email us at bookexpectationspodcast@gmail.com. That is bookexpectationspodcast@gmail.com for any recommendations on what books you'd like to hear next.
Make sure you join us next week when we talk about Divergent by Veronica Roth.